State-owned subsidiaries go bankrupt, wage protests engulf China, Xi's last move exposed. Economist sparks heated debate, 964 million Chinese earn less than $280 a month. China's property developers to face repayment pressure in 2024. Huawei tech allegedly stolen by Xiaomi. It's all covered in today's China Truths. State-owned subsidiaries go bankrupt, wage protests engulf China, Xi's last move exposed. China is experiencing widespread protests over unpaid wages, with the legitimacy of the CCP's rule being challenged amid economic decline. CCP leader Xi Jinping is quickly changing his governing strategy in response, and slogans calling for a reversal of the Cultural Revolution have emerged in Beijing. Chinese media Zonlan News reported that on December 26, a video surfaced online showing several staff from the Suining City Traditional Chinese Medicine Hospital in Sichuan perched on a fourth-floor windowsill, apparently protesting unpaid wages by threatening to jump off the building. The video shows about 10 white-coated individuals squatting on the edge of the windowsill, while firefighters below are seen laying out an air cushion. A large crowd of onlookers is also present at the scene. Later that day, a hospital office staff member addressed the media, refuting the collective jumping and unpaid wages rumors. They clarified that the individuals were not trying to jump and the hospital did not owe wages. On December 26, in Nanning, Guangxi, at the Guangxi Construction Engineering Group's Second Building Engineering Company, Limited, workers hung banners to protect their rights due to the company's failure to pay wages to migrant workers. On December 25, in Shaanxi, the photovoltaic industry of the Shaanxi Second Construction Group failed to pay wages to migrant workers, leading to workers hanging banners outside the company to protect their rights. Recently in Huaiyang County, Hunan Province, there was a collective strike by bus drivers dissatisfied with their company's failure to pay salaries. The drivers displayed protest banners on the buses, with messages like "driving buses without pay, return my hard-earned money," and 16 months without salary, return my hard-earned money. This wave of economic downturn has also affected central enterprises under the Chinese Communist Party. On December 25, videos on social media showed that the Yongji fertilizer plant, part of the Central Enterprise COFCO Group in Shaanxi, declared bankruptcy. However, over 900 workers were left without a resettlement plan, affecting their social insurance and medical security. Some employees with serious illnesses could not even get hospital treatment. From December 22, workers protested for 3 days, demanding a response from COFCO Group leadership, but none was forthcoming. Public records indicate that Yongji Fertilizer Plant, a subsidiary of COFCO Group, was once one of China's largest fertilizer production bases. COFCO Group, a large enterprise under the All China Federation of Supply and Marketing Cooperatives, specializes in agricultural materials like fertilizers and pesticides, and has been listed among China's top 500 enterprises several times. After the sudden relaxation of COVID-19 controls by the CCP last December, there were expectations of a revenge recovery for the Chinese economy this year. However, not only was this not achieved, but there were also instances of massive foreign capital flight, shrinking foreign trade, soaring unemployment, factory closures, high government debt, and a deep slump in the real estate market. Various economic stimulus policies implemented by the CCP over the past year have failed to reverse the economic downturn. Despite various efforts, the Chinese economy has continued to struggle. On December 26, the German newspaper Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung published a commentary by its China correspondent, pointing out that the factors causing China's economic weakness are not limited to the economic level and are largely due to the deliberate actions of the upper echelons of the CCP. In the context of the country's turmoil threatening the supreme power of CCP leader Xi Jinping, he has had to resort to the last action. On December 26, on the occasion of the 130th anniversary of the death of former CCP leader Mao Zedong, in addition to Xi Jinping and officials visiting Mao's preserved body, many posters advocating for a reassessment of the Cultural Revolution also appeared on the streets of Beijing. Prior to the evening of the 25th, in Shaoshan, Hunan at Mao Zedong Square, a large number of Maoist leftists gathered, shouting extreme left-wing slogans. They demanded the expulsion of capitalism and the implementation of public ownership and socialist systems, while also chanting "Long Live Mao." Chinese writer and independent commentator Kai Shenkuan believes that elevating Mao is the CCP's most common tactic when facing governance crises. He posted on X stating, "Xi Jinping's 10 years of turmoil have caused great harm both inside and outside the party." Using the 130th anniversary of Mao Zedong to elevate Mao again serves to suppress different forces and voices, while elevating Xi Jinping himself to a political status even higher than Mao's. In commemoration of the 130th anniversary, the Party History and Literature Research Institute of the CCP Central Committee has heavily revised and published Mao Zedong's manuscripts since the founding of the PRC and Chronicles of Mao Zedong by the Central Document Publishing House, now distributed nationwide. Such a massive publishing project is not a whim but a well-planned result, clearly indicating Xi Jinping's enduring focus on Mao Zedong thought and signifying a return to Mao Zedong's policies as a clear mark of Xi Jinping's new era. Professor Zhang Tianliang said on his YouTube channel Tianliang Times that, faced with China's worsening economy and internal and external troubles, Xi Jinping is left with this sole tactic. Economist sparks heated debate. 964 million Chinese earn less than $280 a month. On December 26, Sanlian Life Weekly posted on its official Weibo that, according to the First Financial Daily, on December 25, Li Xuanlei, vice chairman of the China Chief Economist Forum, published the article Li Xuanlei, "Is it easier to climb up than to come down? An economic perspective from the demand side." Li Xuanlei serves as the chief economist of Zhongtai Securities. The article referenced a 2021 survey by the Institute of Income Distribution, Beijing Normal University, which stated that about 964 million people in China earn less than 2,000 yuan per month, approximately $280. According to the article, from the perspective of real estate demand, the per capita GDP level of Chinese residents is only one-third of Japan's per capita level in 1994, and Japan's Gini coefficient has always been maintained in a safe range below 0.4, which is more conducive to consumption. The Gini coefficient measures the extent to which the distribution of income within a country deviates from perfect equality. As a developing country with a low income level, China faces the pressure of getting old before getting rich, and there may be insufficient effective demand for home purchases in the future. Li Xuanlei checked the statistics and found that, in most countries with a population of more than 100 million people, the Gini coefficient is above 0.4. This indicates that the larger the population, the variance of income distribution will also expand accordingly. Currently, First Financial Daily has deleted the article. Previously, Li Keqiang, former CCP premier, stated at a press conference after the conclusion of the National People's Congress on May 28, 2020, there are 600 million people whose monthly income is only 1,000 yuan, approximately $140. This triggered widespread social concern and discussion. On June 15 of the same year, the National Bureau of Statistics responded that this statement could be confirmed by official survey data. In 2019, there were indeed 610 million people in China whose average monthly income was less than 1,000 yuan. Today, 3.5 years later, my country's population with a monthly income of less than 2,000 yuan is approximately 964 million has sparked heated discussion, even though the article has been deleted. Director and producer Zhou Yanni, whose IP address is listed as Hong Kong, posted, "The population in China with a monthly income of less than 2,000 yuan is about 964 million. This is survey data published by Beijing Normal University in 2021. Without this data, I once thought that everyone had a monthly income of over 10,000 yuan. Another internet user remarked, "The average monthly income of ordinary people in the United States is $3,000, and the average monthly income of ordinary people in China is $300. Yet, the poor worry about whether the rich have enough to eat and clothe themselves." Others said, "I am located in Fuzhou. I asked my relatives about cleaning jobs a few years ago, and I found out that cleaning workers in Fuzhou only earn 2,600 yuan a month, approximately $364, without any benefits such as food and accommodation. In our local area, it costs 1,750 yuan, about $245, to recruit a cleaner and 1,950 yuan, about $273, for a security guard, not counting other local grassroots industries. China's property developers to face repayment pressure in 2024. Persistent property woes will continue to be the biggest drag on China's property developers next year, posing a key problem for the world's second-largest economy as builders struggle for cash and property buyers hesitate to spend, unsure if the depressed real estate sector can recover. According to a note of Fitch Ratings, Chinese property developers will continue to face significant bond repayments in 2024, as the principal amount of onshore and offshore bonds due or payable next year will hit 737.3 billion yuan, $103.17 billion, in total, up 11.3% from the 2023 maturities of 662.5 billion yuan of those with principal payment needs in 2024, adding that the nationwide contracted property sales could drop by as much as 5% next year. The collapse of China's decades-long property bubble has eroded investor and consumer confidence, while major Chinese property developers have failed or filed for bankruptcy this year, and government efforts to stabilize the real estate market have had little impact. Last week, for instance, real estate developer China Huawei Group sought protection from lawsuits by filing for Chapter 15 bankruptcy in a U.S. court while it plans to reorganize its debts. Earlier this month, China South City Holdings announced that due to its cash flow struggles caused by the property crisis sweeping the nation, the operator of commercial and logistical facilities will be unable to make specific bond interest payments that were due in November. Huawei also joins a growing list of Chinese real estate developers, including China Evergrande Group and Sunac China Holdings, applying for bankruptcy protection in the United States. The Fitch note reads, "We expect many privately owned developers that have not defaulted yet to continue to face repayment challenges, and some may defer repayment via debt restructuring or even default." The note reads, "This is mainly due to sluggish contracted sales amid widespread buyer concerns over the delivery and quality of homes, impaired capital market funding access, and the need to prioritize project construction." New home sales in China are predicted to suffer their first consecutive yearly decreases this year due to low consumer confidence and the country's fragile property market. According to China's National Bureau of Statistics data released mid-December, new home sales fell 7.3% by area from January to November, witnessing the sixth straight drop in new apartment prices. Fundamental question for the Chinese economy. According to Fitch, private developers who have managed to stay afloat will need to repay a total principal amount of 39.3 billion yuan and $5.5 billion in the onshore and offshore bond markets, respectively, next year, exceeding their 2023 amounts of 34.6 billion yuan and $3.9 billion, respectively. Furthermore, maturities will peak in March and August 2024, totaling more than 10 billion yuan, about $1.4 billion. Hence, many believe that the fundamental question for the Chinese economy in 2024 will be whether the depressed real estate industry, which accounts for more than a quarter of the economy, will once again drag the economy down. Despite Beijing's monetary easing and stimulus measures over the past few months to overcome the property downturn and the weak confidence following China's post-COVID-19 reopening, persistent property weakness continues to weigh on monetary policy transmission, which could continue to hurt the economy. The People's Bank of China slashed the benchmark lending rates, the reverse repo rate, and policy rates twice this year, while in October, Beijing launched a 1 trillion yuan, about $140 billion, sovereign debt issue to encourage local governments to spend on infrastructure and disaster recovery. Bloomberg reported last month that Chinese officials were planning to lend an additional 1 trillion yuan in low-cost central bank borrowing to policy banks in stages to support projects centered on affordable housing and urban village revitalization. No simple solution. Still, while there may be a temporary uptick in mood due to analysts' expectations of more government assistance in 2024 to stem the tide, there is no easy fix. Patrick Pan, analyst at Daiwa Capital Markets, writes in a research note, "For 2024, we believe more policy support is underway to prevent the spilling over of contagion risk to other sectors and the overall economy, which could give a short boost to market sentiment, but remain skeptical as to its effectiveness unless the concerns of home buyers, financial insecurity and weak home price expectations are alleviated." That aside, Mr. Pan thinks that privately owned property developers will continue to face a challenging operating environment in their sluggish home sales and financing activities, which suggests that property investors prefer to stick with major state-owned developers for the longer term. Nonetheless, Fitch believes that, while defaulted developers' ability to service capital market debt will likely remain limited in the near term, some of them that have pledged to make installments after extending the maturities of their onshore bonds may provide bondholders with small cash recoveries. According to Dealing Matrix, Country Garden and its onshore operational subsidiary, for example, repaid 2% of the principal of 4 extended onshore notes in November. Sifi Group also recently paid 2% of the deferred principal of an onshore bond. Huawei tech allegedly stolen by Xiaomi. Huawei, known for its growth through technology theft, recently faced serious allegations of its chip technology being stolen by a company named Zunpai Communications, with another giant Xiaomi having significant investment ties to Zunpai. The Shanghai Public Security Bureau's Economic Crime Investigation Division revealed a case of chip technology trade secret infringement on April 19. The operation targeted Zunpai Communications just as their infringing chips were about to enter mass production. 14 suspects were arrested, and 7 servers related to the infringing chip technology were seized. Reports suggest that Zhang, a former Huawei executive who left in March 2021, founded Zunpai. Using allegedly illicit means, such as enticing R&D staff from Huawei's Silicon division with attractive salaries and shares, Zhang aimed to replicate chip secrets from Huawei. Zunpai's founding team includes not only former Huawei employees but also professionals from major chip companies like Qualcomm and Marvell. The company's core business, mirroring Huawei's, focuses on chip design and technologies like Wi-Fi 6. Investigations revealed that the technology in question shared over 90% similarity with 40 technical aspects of Silicon's trade secrets. 4 primary suspects, including Zhang and Liu, were arrested, and the remaining 10 suspects were released on bail. Zunpai, accused of technology theft, gained notoriety for its business closely resembling Huawei's in rapid growth, securing over 300 million yuan, about $42 million in investments within a year. Interestingly, Xiaomi was found to have a significant investment in Zunpai, holding nearly 10% of its shares and ranking as the 4th largest shareholder. Xiaomi's involvement in Zunpai's fundraising raised eyebrows, given the company's swift advancement and overlapping business interests with Huawei. In response, Xiaomi denies any connection to the infringement of chip technology trade secrets, emphasizing that its investment in Zunpai was a standard financial activity. Xiaomi asserts that it does not manage or operate the chip company and has no intellectual property rights or technological cooperation with it. Despite Xiaomi's denial, Chinese netizens remain skeptical, criticizing the company for attempting to distance itself and emphasizing that holding shares is a factual matter. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. If you find the information helpful, please share this video with a friend to watch together. This will be a great source of motivation for our team to produce more and more quality and reliable videos. And also don't forget to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths. Thank you for tuning in.